All right, we're going to start now because we see that the people are coming. Buenos días a todas y todos. Bienvenidos a la...
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the International Conference of Open Libraries, Open Science, Open Learning. Welcome, everybody. Now, the speaker will be the Director for Library, Isabel. Thank you very much, Deputy Director and Director of UNESCO for accompanying us. Sorry, I have to say something first. I want to choose a director because for a reason he could not avoid last minute, he could not come. He was ready to come today. He was gonna come to guide this meeting, but he had a commitment. So let's excuse her. Sorry. Well, as I was saying, thank you very much, Deputy Director and Director of UNESCO Cátedra for accompanying us today. And I want to welcome all the people that are here today, the speakers and the people listening that are online and here today that are going to be with us today and tomorrow. Open Libraries, Open Science, Open Learning. Under this title, our interest is to keep on digging into the knowledge of investigation and learning in the environment, in the national and European environment, and the role that the university libraries have and the community is to support. In these last years, this has been one of the words of this environment. Is disruptive knowledge and its incidence in the study, the artificial intelligence, pandemic, fake news, make us to rethink our present and
bibliotecas que parece tan plácido visto desde fuera. ¿Quién no ha recibido, bibliotecario o bibliotecaria, algún comentario acerca de nuestra posibilidad de estar leyendo constantemente en nuestro trabajo? Pues no es así, es un mundo que está constantemente en ebullición, en el que todos estos cambios tienen una repercusión muy importante, puesto que tratan sobre el núcleo duro de nuestro trabajo, sobre el acceso y la difusión de la información, el derecho y los derechos a la información. En estos días hablaremos sobre varios ámbitos relacionados con la ciencia abierta, como la evaluación, la edición académica, la retención de derechos por parte de los autores, el acceso abierto, los repositorios y el futuro de las bibliotecas en este contexto. Y también trataremos sobre las alianzas con las universidades europeas, en este caso el de las universidades a distancia.
We will be talking about long-distance universities. In this sense, I would like to remember that this event is inside the Erasmus staff program, for which we have opened the participation to researchers, library workers, and technicians from the units of research dissemination. We will have the opportunity to get to know and talk about different programs and projects and European and international projects, and we will have complementary sessions among different libraries from long-distance universities that work together on common topics. To end up, I would like to thank for the sponsorship of the companies that have contributed to the celebration, to the creation of this meeting. They have collaborated over the last few days, but mostly the company that is premium sponsor, which is Authentic, who is advanced technological solutions company that gives access to knowledge and is backing up this conference as part of their continuous work towards improving the long-distance platforms and digital libraries that are making it easier to access knowledge in a more equitable way. Lastly, I would also like to thank the library team because they are the ones that could have done a great effort so that these days could have been organized, and I want to thank them for their support in all the projects that we have started. I really hope that this program is interesting and that the conversation that we're coming up with from these days will help us to develop our professional environment so that we can start creating new ideas. Thank you very much.
Muchas gracias, Isabel. Tiene la palabra ahora
Thank you, Isabel. Now we're going to give the floor to the UNESCO PhD, Director, Ángeles, Elvira, Paniagua.
I'm going to start just a little bit in English, and then I'm going to continue in Spanish in this presentation. So thank you for being with us today here. I think it's a great pleasure and honor on behalf of the UNESCO Chair in Distance Education to welcome all of you to this interesting conference that our library has organized. I'm going to continue now in Spanish. Quiero agradecer muchísimo a todos la presencia aquí, tanto los
I
que
would like
estáis
to
en este
thank everyone's
momento en la
presence
sala
here,
como en
both the
línea,
people who are meeting here in person and
esta
also the
conferencia que ha
people
organizado
online
nuestra
in this
biblioteca.
conference that our library has
En
organized.
nombre también de la Cátedra UNESCO de
On behalf
Educación
also
a
the
Distancia,
UNESCO
quiero agradecer muy
PhD of
expresamente
long
a
distance
Isabel
learning, I
Calzas,
would
directora de
like to
la
thank
Biblioteca,
Isabel
a
Calzas
Beatriz
as the
Tejada
head of the library,
directora
Beatriz
junto también de la
Tejada as
biblioteca y
a
a todo el
deputy
personal
head of the
por todo el trabajo
library,
que han
and
hecho,
also all the
felicitarles
staff for
y
the
darles
work
gracias
that they've
además
been
por
doing.
haber
I'd like to
invitado a la
congratulate them and
Cátedra
also
UNESCO de
thank them for
Educación a
having invited
Distancia
the
y a mí como
UNESCO
su
PhD of
representante
long
a
distance
colaborar en la organización de los
learning and
últimos
its
meses. Como
representatives.
nos comentasteis,
Thank you
queremos
for having
hacer
invited
un
me to
congreso
work on this
sobre
project.
educación
Several
abierta,
months ago, you
sobre
invited me
ciencia
because you wanted to
abierta.
do an
Bueno, para
open
una cátedra
science and
UNESCO,
open
como
education
comprenderéis, pues
conference,
todo lo que tiene
right?
que ver con
And for the
hacer
UNESCO,
llegar
everything
la
that has to
innovación y la
do with
ciencia
making
pues a
science and
todo el mundo, pues es
education
uno de
get
los
further
objetivos
and get
de
to
UNESCO, como bien
everyone
sabéis.
is one
También
of
quiero agradecer
UNESCO's
a Ángel de
goals, as
Juanas,
you
que es
all
el
know.
rector de
I would
nuestra
also like to thank
Escuela
Ángel de
Internacional de
Juanas. He's
Doctorado,
the
como
head of
miembro
our
también de la
International
Cátedra UNESCO,
School
que
of PhD
bueno, pues
Studies.
está colaborando también en la
He's
organización.
also,
Y el
as a member of the
Vicerrectorado
UNESCO,
de
working
Internacionalización
in
y
the
Multilingüismo,
organization and
que,
also
bueno,
the
pues también
Vice-Rector
recibimos
of
una ayuda en su
Internationalization
convocatoria
and
de fortalecimiento de la
Multilingualism. And
internacionalización para la
thanks to their
realización de
support, we
estas
have been
jornadas,
strengthened
además
for
de
the
todos los que han
organization of this
colaborado
event
como
and
sponsors y demás, ¿no?
everyone who has
Como
worked together
decía,
with us as sponsors and
desde una
everything.
cátedra
We thank
UNESCO,
them.
pues todo lo que tenga que ver con educación abierta y ciencia abierta es
So,
un tópico de muchísimo
from the
interés. Nuestra
UNESCO
cátedra
chair,
es una
everything that
cátedra
has
que
to do with
nació
open
en el siglo
science and
pasado,
open
fue una de
knowledge
las
that
primeras.
is
Nació
very
en una
interesting for
época
us. We were one
predigital,
of the first chairs
pero
that
siempre
started
ha
some
estado volcada
years ago. We
en
started
hacer
in a
llegar, en
digital
nuestro
era,
caso, la
and
educación
we
a
have always
distancia y
wanted
por
to
tanto la
make long
educación
distance
pues
learning
la
and
queremos a
therefore
través de una educación pues
education
inclusiva y de calidad, como es ese objetivo del
to
desarrollo
an
sostenible
inclusive
número
and
4.
quality
A través de la
education for
labor de Lorenzo
everyone,
García
thanks to
Aretia,
the
que es
work
nuestro
of
presidente de
Lorenzo
honor,
García
pues se ha
Aretio,
llevado la
who's
educación a
our
distancia y abierta
honorable
a todo el mundo,
president.
especialmente
Our
hacia América
open
Latina.
education and
Ahora,
long distance
en el siglo
education
XXI,
has been
somos
taken
una
to
cátedra
many
constituida
places,
por más
mainly
de
to Latin
80
America. And
expertos en
now
educación
we
abierta,
have more than
digital, a
80
distancia,
experts
más de 60
trained in long
ellos son
distance
miembros de
and
la UNED
open
y
knowledge
no
and
solo académicos,
learning.
sino también
Many of them are
personal de
part of the
administración y
UNED, not
servicios,
only
como es
academic
la biblioteca.
technicians,
Por
but
tanto,
also
trabajar en
from the
colaboración
services
es un
that the
elemento
library works with.
importantísimo
So
para nosotros,
working
¿no?
together is a very
En
important
nuestra
element
cátedra
for all of us. So
podemos
in
decir
our
que
chair,
bueno, pues,
we could
hay
say
muchísima
that
producción de recursos
there's a
educativos
lot
abiertos,
of
de
production
producción de
of
ciencia en
educational
abierto
resources that are
y
open,
se han
creating
recibido premios
science,
a lo largo de nuestra
and we
trayectoria
have
pues a
received
esa
awards all over
voluntad de
our
poner en abierto la
experience thanks
educación.
to our
Y
willingness of
bueno, quiero
making
resaltar también,
education
por
open.
ejemplo, nuestra
I
revista
would also like
iberoamericana
to
de educación
highlight our
abierta, la distancia, la
Ibero-American
RIED, una revista de la UNED editada
journal, the
por Lorenzo
Ried.
García Aretio con la colaboración
It
de
has been
IESAD, la
edited
Asociación
by Lorenzo
Iberoamericana de
García
Educación Superior a Distancia,
Aretio
con la
and
colaboración de
has
la
worked together
Universidad
with
Tecnológica Titular
IESAD,
de Loja, un trabajo
also with the Technical
conjunto que ha llevado a
University
esta revista a
from
estar
Loja.
pues en la web
It's an
española,
ensemble of
está en
people
el puesto
working
número 1,
that has
después
made
pues,
this
también tiene
journal
una
a
posición
reality. In the Scopus, it
muy
also
buena.
has a very high
Como ejemplo,
positioning,
una
and it is
revista
an
en abierto
example
que lo que
of a
pretende es
good
poner
open
a
journal that what it
disposición de todo el
wants
mundo
is
los
to
avances en el
make
campo de
available
alta
for everyone
tecnología
all
de
the
calidad, como
advances
es
in
la
such an
educación
important
digital, la educación abierta, la
aspect
educación a
as it
distancia
is
en este
open
momento.
and long
Por
distance
tanto, estamos
education
bueno,
right
pues
now.
encantados de poder
So we are
colaborar, de
delighted
poder
to be
estar
able to
aquí
work together,
y
to be able to
destacar, pues,
be here,
como ha dicho la
and to
directora de la
highlight, as
biblioteca,
the
el
head of the
importantísimo
library has
papel
said,
que
the
el
very
CAEX, las
important role that
bibliotecas,
you all have,
la labor que
that
cualquier
libraries
institución
have when it
universitaria
comes
tiene que
to
hacer por
the work that any
conseguir
university institution
esa
has to
meta,
do when
¿no?
it
De
comes to
poner todos
achieving
los
that
recursos
goal
educativos
of
en
putting
abierto
all
y
the
la ciencia
educational
transparente y que colaborativa en
resources
abierto. Muchas
available
gracias.
and to have an experience that is a collaboration experience and an open experience. Thank you.
Muchas gracias, Ángeles. Well, I'm going to speak in English for a change here because this is an international conference. conference. So first of all, I want to say again that I'd like to excuse our rector, Dr. Ricardo Mairal Usón, because he had a last-minute unavoidable commitment and he couldn't come. He was the one to be here presiding this event, but so I will have to do it, or I am doing it now on his behalf. So as a Vice Rector for Internationalization and Bilingualism, for me it is a privilege to address you at the inauguration of this international conference, Open Libraries, Open Science, Open Learning. This event epitomizes our commitment to fostering global collaboration and multilingual engagement in research and education. So I want to congratulate and to thank, both the library, the staff, of course, the director of the library and the director, and then the whole members of the UNESCO Chair of Distance Education of UNED, the Juez, for the organization and initiative. And I also want to thank the PhD school director, he's here, for his collaboration as well, because of course we know that open science has a lot to do with research. Then this event reflects our shared vision of fostering cross-border collaboration where knowledge flows freely and languages serve as bridges, not barriers. Open science and learning transcend national boundaries, as we know, enhancing both access and equity. Through open dialogue and multilingual exchange, we can create a more inclusive and interconnected academic world, one where innovation and discovery are accessible to all. Thus, open access transcends borders, languages, and disciplines, enabling the free flow of knowledge, and together, we're shaping a future where innovation is not limited by geography or language, but enriched by diverse perspectives and shared expertise. At the Vice Rectorate for Internationalization and Bilingualism, which I coordinate, we always value and support this kind of initiatives, of course. And in this particular case, I think we all know that libraries are a crucial part of universities, and therefore this conference makes a lot of sense within the frame of research and learning, not only in Europe, but all over the globe, for libraries are essential support units for universities in both research and learning. It is worth noticing that this conference is also part of the Erasmus staff program managed by the Vice Rectorate for Internationalization. And so we here welcome the participation of researchers, librarians, and technicians from the scientific dissemination departments of Spanish or European universities in general. We will have the opportunity to learn about and to discuss European and national programs, projects, and commitments, as well as to hold complementary working sessions between libraries of distance learning universities that work on common issues. And of course, this conference can also be framed within the European Universities Alliance, of which the UNED now forms part, which is the Open EU, which will be the topic of the first roundtable of this conference. As I always say, the word university comes from universe, because knowledge and research are universal in every way. And from here, the importance of open universities, which have always fostered having open libraries, open science, and of course, open learning, the three main topics of this conference. So congratulations again for this initiative, and thank you for being part of this transformative journey. Then we declare the conference open.